everyone. How's everyone doing? This live stream is an interactive workshop. So for the next hour or so, we're going to be doing a workshop together, and this is going to be helping you with your outreach, with having conversations with non-vegans so you can handle objections from non-vegans. So I will be bringing up these objections that usually non-vegans throw at us, and then we're going to explore the responses together. That's basically how this works. And then at the end, I will be taking questions as well. So if we have any non-vegans that are watching this, send your questions through the question button on Instagram. So if you have a reason why you're not vegan yet, just let me know what that is and we can respond to that together. If you're already vegan or you're an activist and you have any question about activism or AV, you can send your questions through as well. And at the end of the live stream, I'll take some questions. So the question is someone that says, I want to be vegan, but I'm worried that I'm gonna be deficient in minerals and vitamins. So you tell them when you are convinced that you don't want to be an animal abuser anymore and you know it's the right thing to stop supporting these industries, you will find a way. So it's about why you need to be vegan rather than how you're going to do it, because once you decide to do something, you will find a way. You've got your phone, you've got internet, you've got a computer, like you can do your own research. You can even talk to a dietitian or a nutritionist. That part you will figure out. So that's what we need to tell people. You just need to be convinced that this is the right thing to do, and then you'll find a way. There was another response that I liked about asking them to name a vitamin or a mineral that you cannot get from plants or you cannot synthesize it. And that means that there is literally nothing in animal flesh that you cannot get from plants or you cannot get from a pharmacy. So when you look at the animals that humans eat, like cows, chickens, pigs, these animals are eating only plants. They don't eat the flesh of other animals. So how are they getting all their nutrients and vitamins? They're getting it from plants. Also, in the meat, dairy, and egg industries, these animals are being injected with things like B12. So how about we just go to the pharmacy, buy these supplements directly instead of injecting the animals and then getting their nutrients through their bodies. We just get it directly, if we need to, we just get it directly from a pharmacy so that nobody has to die. Now, when it comes to taking supplements as a vegan, you need to make sure that you do your bloods first. So test your blood, make sure that you do need to take iron or B12 or vitamin D or whatever it might be. Don't just assume that as soon as you go vegan, you're going to need to take a whole bunch of supplements. Many vegans don't take anything. So do your blood test. If you are low in some kind of nutrient or mineral or vitamins, then you can go and get the supplements. Make sure you look for the vegan version first. B12, vitamin D, all of these things can be found vegan. That means that it doesn't come from an animal. Also, it's not tested on animals. So you want to look for the vegan supplement first. If you live in a place that you have absolutely no access to a vegan supplement, you can't buy it online, and your only option is to go to a pharmacy and get, the pharmaceutical version of it that has been tested on animals, and so that's what you need to do. But do everything you can to avoid that. So how do you respond to someone when they say, I'm going vegan with the exception of backyard eggs because my grandma has some chickens in their backyard, and what's wrong with taking their eggs? First of all, if somebody worded it the way I just did, which was I'll go vegan with the exception of, it could be backyard eggs, it could be honey, it could be anything. The first thing you need to point out is you're either vegan or you're not. You can't be vegan with the exception of wearing animal skin, vegan with the exception of eating honey, vegan with the exception of eating eggs from chickens. So make that clear to them. You're either vegan meaning you don't support any form of animal cruelty as much as practicable, or you're not vegan. Even if you only eat eggs once a month and you do not touch any other animal products, you're still not vegan. Make that clear for them. And then you can talk about everything that you all have said. Basically, the chickens that people have in their backyards are all rescued. Even if they are rescued, if they weren't actually purchased, they all come from the same breeders. And those breeders are bringing these animals into this world with the pure purpose of using their bodies. And also, every time you have a female chicken, that means a male chick had to die, at least one. So by having that chicken in your backyard and using their egg, or even worse, buying that chicken from a breeder, you're supporting the murder of all those baby chicks that were male. That's one point. And then you're still taking something from someone without their consent. So even if that egg is not going to turn into a baby, that is theirs, it comes out of their body, and you have no right to take it from them. Now let's take another question. Okay, how do you respond to someone that says it's just my choice to eat animals? So this is another thing. I hear it quite a lot, and you guys just said it, a few of you. It's no longer a choice when there's a victim involved. That is not accurate, because a rapist is also making a choice to rape, and there is a victim there. But it's not that it's no longer a choice. It's obviously an evil choice to make, but just because there's a victim doesn't mean that it's no longer a personal choice. Personal choice means I'm choosing to do something. I could choose to hurt myself, I could choose to harm somebody else, I could choose to do anything. So I don't think that's the strongest argument, personally. It's a choice that is selfish and evil. So it is still a choice, but like Matt said, and I really like that, it's a choice for you as a human. You're choosing to be cruel, sure. The animal didn't get to have a say in this though. So they don't have a say, they don't get to choose. You're choosing for them. You're choosing on behalf of somebody else, and you're basically making a choice that is selfish and is just wrong. So yeah, if somebody says it's just my choice, I choose to eat animals, I like Laura's response and also Matt's, which is basically, sure, you're making a choice. Your choice has consequences on others. I like saying this more than saying, it's no longer a choice because there's a victim involved. Because even in all those evil acts, when a human is committing a crime on another human, there is also a choice, and there is also victims involved. So I like saying you are making a choice to be cruel, and your choice has consequences on other sentient beings like cows, chickens, pigs, etc. So your choice has consequences for others. Where is the choice for the animal? They don't get to have a say in this. And I love what Laura said, because we always want to put it back on that person. We always want to hold that one individual accountable, because we're talking to that one person. So you can say, would you like it if the roles were reversed? So if somebody came from another planet, an alien, and chose to just abuse your body, exploit you, rape you, torture you, and then murder you for your flesh, that would be their choice, but you don't get to have a say in that. Would you like that? So that's how I would respond to it. Should we avoid using the words murder, abuse, evil when talking to people who won't accept your definition of these words in order to avoid arguing over semantics? No, Summer, I don't think you should stop telling them the truth just because they don't like hearing it. You don't even need to explain the definition of those words. They can look it up. The word murder is not exclusive to humans. Abuse is also not exclusive, and evil is just, they can't say it's an inaccurate word to use. It is evil. Or it is wrong. It is killing. It is rape. People also try to say, don't say rape, because You're not talking about him. What about those rape victims, those human rape victims? So what? Humans, yes, they can be raped, but animals can also be raped. They are literally being raped. They're being sexually violated, aka rape. They are being killed for their flesh. They are being murdered. Why? Because it was planned. It was planned for them to be killed that way, and that's called murder. So no, I don't agree with that. I think you should continue using words that are accurately describing what's happening to the animals. So that's it for the workshop. For the next 20 minutes, I'm happy to take some questions if you have any. If not, we can wrap this up. The thing is, some people just don't care about choices. No matter how hard you try to explain the consequences of meat consumption, they will never change because they simply don't care. Of course, Jane. Our job is to speak up for the animals, tell people the truth, hold people accountable for their actions, and that's all we can do. If someone is not able to see that for what it is, if they're not ready to hear the truth, if they're not willing to take action, that's completely on them, and we can't do anything beyond that. So we do our work and the rest is up to that person. So really, it comes down to that individual and whether they're ready or not, and whether they're willing to take action to become vegan, to stop exploiting animals. That is completely, no matter how good of an orator you are, even if they throw 20 arguments at you and you debunk every one of them, if that person is not willing to look at their own behavior and take accountability for their own actions, they are not going to be convinced. They're just going to, even though they lost every argument to you, they're going to continue abusing animals. So it's all we can do as activists. Is it okay to call somebody a hypocrite? Of course it is. I use that word all the time. It's actually my tagline on my YouTube. I end all the video descriptions with "Stop being a hypocrite, be vegan," because not just like walking around the street calling everyone a hypocrite, but if you're having a conversation with someone, it could be at a cube, it could be a friend, especially if someone says, "I'm an animal lover, I love animals," or things like that, or "Oh yeah, I hate animal cruelty, I'm against it," but you're paying for it, so you are a hypocrite. If you're talking to a vegetarian and they say, I became a vegetarian for ethical reasons, but you're a hypocrite because you're still supporting the dairy and egg industries. So yeah, I recommend that you do use the word hypocrite. The word hypocrite is a good word to use when you're holding someone accountable. You're not shaming them, you're not being disrespectful, you're just saying it as it is, and you're holding that person accountable. They're saying one thing and they're doing another thing. So their words and their actions are not aligned, and that is the definition of a hypocrite. I have a religious family. To them, murder only applies to humans, and it messes with their beliefs about God because they don't believe that He would allow something evil. Also, abuse to them only means causing them to suffer, since God allows us to kill and use animals. I'm not sure what religion your family practices, Summer, but no religion mandated killing animals and consuming their flesh or what comes out of their bodies. No religion mandated abusing and exploiting animals either. So people use the religion argument all the time, and your family, with their beliefs, what they're doing is they're trying to justify animal exploitation. So they don't let you use those words around them because obviously you're right. It is murder, it is rape, it is torture, and those words are not exclusive to humans. So again, I don't know what religion, but for each religion, you can go and look into it. You can do research. I've got tons of videos on my Instagram about religion and how you respond to religious arguments. So I recommend you go and check those out. There are very short clips, like 2 or 3 minutes, just to respond to the religion argument very quickly. If you haven't watched them, just go check it out. But it really comes down to, again, those people being ready and willing to hear the truth. Even if you were to swap the word murder or evil with something else, they still would not take you seriously because they're just not willing to look at it. If they are religious, if they do believe in God, the question would be, do you really believe that the God that is loving and compassionate and is all about peace and is kind would be okay with these innocent individuals suffering for humans? Because nowadays we don't need to kill them. We have supermarkets that can provide all the food that we need. Why are we doing it? Don't you think God would be much more impressed with you if you left these innocent animals alone? So you can use those religious arguments to talk to your family, but I highly recommend that you do not stop using these words because they are highly accurate. What is your opinion on vegan meat, such as vegan sausages? I believe that there's nothing wrong with eating vegan sausages, vegan bacons, vegan burgers, vegan cheese, vegan pizza, vegan ice cream, vegan beef, vegan chicken. I don't have an issue with it. I got a comment the other day on my YouTube, someone saying, well, if it's unethical to eat animal flesh, isn't it playing mind games if we do eat these replicates or these alternatives that are vegan? And I said, absolutely not, because it doesn't actually come from an animal. It doesn't mean that somebody got raped and tortured for it. Nobody died for it. So go for it. If you like it, go for it. I personally don't recommend eating too much junk food just because it's not healthy for you, but that's a different topic. From an ethical point of view, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Also, I don't think it makes us hypocrites for calling it vegan bacon, because the meat industry doesn't own the word bacon. They actually use words like bacon, leather, ham, beef, etc. to distract the consumer, to confuse people. They don't call it what it is, which is cow flesh, pig flesh, etc. So no, go for it. Use it as it is as well. Just call it vegan bacon. I fucking hate it when someone says fakin'. I hate it when they say mock meat or fake meat. The only problem I have is that chicken is literally an animal. And we refer to the flesh as chicken as well. So vegan chicken is just chicken, the name of an animal. Everything else is fine. I'm fine with. I wish that we could come up with a word for that, because we're literally calling it an animal. But that's just me. But yeah, I don't have a problem. Also with things like milk, cheese, yogurt, ice cream. These are just words to describe a texture and a consistency. So the dairy industry doesn't own these words either. Plant-based milk like soy, almond, oat, coconut, all of that is milk. I hated that many companies now say on the packaging, instead of saying like almond milk, they say almond drink or something like that. I think in America it became like the law that they had to do this. I could be wrong, but yeah, they can't legally write almond milk or oat milk. It could be somewhere else in the word, I don't know, but that pisses me off. Or what's the other one, like dessert, they call something dessert instead of calling it like the dairy name, the product. I don't know if it's yogurt or cream or something like that, but no, you can call it vegan cream, it's soy cream, it's coconut cream, it's vegan ice cream, it's coconut yogurt, whatever it is. These industries do not own those words, and there is nothing wrong with consuming these products from an ethical point of view. The only concern I would have is from a health point of view. That's it for today. I'm going to wrap this up and I will see you next week. Take care, everyone. Much love.